Hey, it's 28mm RPG, Rick here. And with the gang, once again, we have a new person in our group as well. First off, we'll introduce everybody just in case anybody new is dropping in with our live stream. And we'll start off with Spencer up in the top right corner. Left corner.
Welcome back, everybody.
And in the top center, I have Josh.
Hello, hello.
And then, of course, on the top right will be Gordo.
Hello, how's it going?
And right next to me, onto my left, I assume that would be it, is Dave. We have Dave with us.
Yeah, nice to see you guys.
And then, of course, it's me, Rick. But who cares? So, our last episode, the group had uncovered the secrets of this strange alien technology base. What had happened, what had conspired last episode was the group entered in and discovered the secrets, figured out a few ways of interpreting the glyphs that they had seen on the interface. It was a giant orb, half orb, sticking out of the ground of this station, this area that you were kind of like a bridge type of an area. And it had the little indicators showing across this orb what exactly was happening in the atmosphere, in the orbital regions of the planet. And at this time, the mountain before you rose up into the very atmosphere, and it apparently is some sort of massively weird technological massive device that went up there, and you chose some targets for it, thus wiping out the invading Borga armada. Now, our group has, kind of reconciled over this episode of what has happened before them on this massive scale. You see that some of the Borga ships are like dwindling off into various areas of escape, and a couple of them are like heading out towards the higher orbital regions of the planet and trying to make their way, out of the range of this massive sentinel that has been sent up into the sky. You all kind of look at each other and ponder what the replications of such massive destruction has occurred on the outside. As you kind of look at what's happened on the screen. The basic lineup in here right now is Adamus, Rye, Cobb, and just on the outskirts is Sal and Silas. And Sal is kind of like, did we win the war? What happened?
Well, I think we did win the war.
So what now? We got some big giant orbital thing up there. You think these guys are gonna like having some sort of massive monstrosity up there, which could be, I'm just thinking out loud here, man. I know Silas is over there, but would you think that maybe the other country would be wanting to take hold of this place if they found out about it?
They found out what it could do, definitely.
Just to clarify, we are all on the planet's surface right now, correct?
You are inside. If you can recall our last session, we are all inside the that little through a bunch of kind of a weird caves with a kind of like an orb, with a like a an orb on a, what is it called, a pedestal kind of deal. And you guys used the pedestal and opened up each door, went through, and you're kind of, you're kind of in front. You can see kind of through the window area. There is it the window itself is a thick crystal, and you can see that there's kind of like a mold penetrating through some of the micro fissures within this. Like, this thing's so ancient, and what you're seeing around you is basically a clouded window to the outside, where you've seen the mountain before you that lifted off into the sky, and you're inside a basic kind of like a bunker kind of an area, which would be the best way to describe it, like kind of like a bridge in a bunker.
Well, everyone, since we are haven't completed our exploration of this facility, whatever it is, I suggest we do that before we head back, and I will go and kind of see if there are any other passageways or orbs that I can examine.
From your recollection, this has been basically a straight on through trek, kind of like a a hallway door kind of procedure into the large area that you're in right now. You did not notice any kind of side passages to your recollection. Yeah, it seems kind of straightforward, says Sal. So we head on back, or what do we do here? Turn it all off? Leave it up there?
I think we should shut it down, go back and check on Nebuchadnezzar, make sure the ship is okay. Check in with the government that we're working with, and see what their take is on the mountains liftoff, and send a team back in to do a further investigation.
Yeah, I'm all for that, but you're the boss, he says. Silas is poking his head kind of through the last door that you went through, and he pulls his head back through, and he's like, "Yeah, my men are a little bit chewed up there. I think we should conclude what we're doing here. Is everything okay?" Sergeant Silas kind of looks you over. He's like, "What is this?" And he's kind of looking at you, kind of stunned at this kind of like this overture of kind of the planet. He's like, is this some sort of strange? Are we on a ship or something?
That's a great question. I don't think we know where we are, do we? I think we clearly have the ability to see other locations. Where we are presently, I don't know. But I think we've got some wounded, and we need to check on our vessel and make sure the Nebuchadnezzar wasn't damaged when this mountain took off into space.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything coming through my comms through with anybody out there. We're secluded in here.
I think we need to go and check out our ship.
All
Some
right.
important cargo is in there, and we better make sure it is before we continue on this journey that we're having.
All right, guys, I'll meet you out there, says Silas, and he goes ahead and gets himself out through the back through the half Like, no, this would be the full archway in this room, and he goes through the shimmering kind of a wall before him. Sal says, "All right, well, are we turning this thing off? How do you turn it off?" He's looking it over, kind of scratching his head.
I'll try to manipulate the controls, see if I can reverse the process we used to turn it on in the first place, and see if I can make it shut back off again.
Go ahead and give me a language roll. If you don't have a language roll, unskilled. Alrighty, so you end up manipulating some of the visuals in front of you, and you're noticing that you can move things around basically from what you can get, and you go ahead and start moving things, and it seems like they're turning off. But you don't see any movement from the sentinel that you've sent up, basically the mountain that you sent up into the space.
I'll try to examine it, not so much from a try to decipher the language, but from just looking at the basic construction of the thing and from an engineer's eye, see if I can figure out just mechanically how I can maybe manipulate it through trial and error.
You start flipping around, and you notice that you think you've turned it off, but you're not quite sure.
Here, Adamus, let me try and help you with it. I might have a little bit of experience with this language.
Certainly, see if you can decipher what this says. The thing's all
Give yourself a boon to it as well. Press the boon button when you go ahead and do the language. Okay, you're checking out, and you're kind of going, maybe we should hit that button, that comes up, and you start manipulating things around, and you think you've turned it off, but you still have not figured out a way to get it to come back down. It seems to be stationed up there. You don't see any means to bring it down from what you're looking at the language.
I don't think there's a button for that to bring it down, Adamus. We should do an investigation and see if we can find some other lever or switch that would bring it down in a more station position.
I'd like to get back aboard the ship and just go examine it close up. Take a look at orbit.
All right, well, head back to the ship. I'm right behind you.
All right, you guys all end up convening out through the exit, making your way through the Great Hall, which has that glowing mist up above and the many archways. And you proceed through there into the other ring, which brings you into quite the, blast of moist, hot air. And you can feel it's more fresh as you exit out. And you see that there is a number of men here that are wounded. You see a couple of those suited up lizard alien, the Borga. A couple of them have been taken out. There's a dead one here and there, and most of the guys have expended pretty much a lot of their ammunition into the trees and the outlying region around here. look at you and they're like, "Oh, you guys made it! You guys made it back! Cool, right on." They seem to be kind of excited to see you. They're like, did you see what happened out there? It was crazy. There was the sky was just going up, and it was crazy, man. It was like something huge, like the mountain came off, and it was just wow. They're just totally, freaking out, trying to explain to you exactly what they've seen before you.
Now we're glad to be back in one piece. Listen, this location is now a strategic target for your adversaries. They will definitely want control of this facility. Got to ask your government if they can post additional forces at this location to protect this portal and the controls that we've located inside.
The Narbs, the scar-faced sergeant, says that's already taken care of. We have a unit moving in, about to take over here. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and escort you guys back to our launch pad over there, over to our vehicle, and get us out of here, eh? To your ship.
We need to get to our ship, so yes, escort us if you need to.
All right, guys, follow through.
Can I be flying a ship's boat or something around here, observing these people coming out of the structure?
Would you like to be?
I mean, I don't know. That's whatever.
Sure. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna see these guys come out of this place in the middle of a bunch of wounded people, and I'm gonna try to find a spot to set down this ship.
It's a very jungled area, quite thick, and yeah, you notice a bunch of movement through your sensors on your ship's boat, and your ship's boat is fairly high tech. This is one that you have found on the planet. Actually, it was one that was at a certain area that you kind of discovered that the pirates around here had been using. You kind of figured this ship's boat has been used for some time. There are some damages to it, though. So you're finding that there's been a little bit of an issue with the drives on it, but as far as its technology, it's like a Tech 12 kind of unit. It has the standard repulsors on it. It does not have any weapons on it at all, and yeah. So and it kind of smells like moldy cheese in the the common area. This has been used by pirates for many years. So you did uncover it not too distant long ago, and it is like I say, it works, but it's kind of haphazard with the technology on board, all the fix-ups that's been done onto it. But anyways, yeah, you're floating above, kind of taking a view of the region.
I'm gonna try to set it down. Hopefully, there's a spot.
Okay.
For
How close? How close do you want to be with this group?
As close as possible without crashing.
All right, as the rest of you are moving along, you start hearing like a hum coming from above, and for a second you're not quite sure if it's one of the lizard creatures, vehicles or something. But up above, you hear a crack and a crush happening in the trees from the foliage above, and you see this hull come through and lower itself into the deeps of the swampy forest that you're in right now, and it starts to come down and lower itself to the ground. Little landing legs come out and proceed to right itself properly in position as it comes in. And you notice
Adamus, watch yourself.
the
It's
other
coming down.
the other guys are like, is this one of your guys' ships?
It is not one of ours, as I reach for my handguns. What
Yeah,
is
as I
going
come
on
down,
here?
I let out the back of the ship, the ramp or whatever, to get up into it,
Okay.
and I poke my head out.
Adamus, watch your head. It's coming down.
It's big, it's ugly.
I put up like, hey guys, any wounded over here?
None of us are wounded as far as I can see.
Yeah, there's actually
Both
a
of them.
couple people that are wounded, just lightly.
Oh, that's only a scratch.
Yeah. Yeah, I can rub that out, says says one of the troops.
Whoever needs medical attention, come see this guy. Apparently, he's a medic.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay. This sorry. Back again. Sorry about that, people watching. Had a little bit of an episode there. My power went out. Just had to kick everything back on. So we're back. All right. Where were we? Oh, yes.
We ran into
All right.
Ted.
Ship's boat came down. We had a mysterious person suddenly show up, bringing down the ramp, asking if there was any wounded to be had, that they could look after them. And everybody's like kind of looking at each other, kind of in shock. Kind of.
Yeah, I'll step out carrying a med kit. Yeah, just show me to him. If any are critical here, we'll get them loaded up. Name's Ted Walker. Nice to meet you.
And the sergeant perks up and says, Sergeant Narbs, nice to meet you, Ted Walker. Yeah, okay, we'll get our men. So you know these guys, or it's like he's looking at everybody kind of confused.
This is of all the stuff happening on the planet right now, this is for sure the most interesting stuff. I think you would agree.
All right, Ted. My name is Roy. I'm the acting captain of the Nebuchadnezzar. This is the most of my crew. Anyone else that needs to receive medic attention, please help them up if you would.
Okay, the sergeant moves, tells his men to move on. Let's go. Come on, get on board. We've got a ride.
All right.
So the men start shuffling themselves on board, getting into the kind of like a small little cargo hold area, and there's 5 of them all together, and they're kind of looking at each other, looking over each other, making sure that they got all their equipment and everything.
I do have first aid myself, gentlemen, if you need the extra help while someone is piloting the ship out of this atmosphere.
That would be very helpful. Yes, please. You're the captain of the Nebuchadnezzar?
Yes, sir. I'm acting captain of the Nebuchadnezzar.
When this is all done, I'm going to need to talk to you for sure.
I will be open once we get out of here and in a safe position with all the men attended to.
All right. So yeah, let's get them loaded up.
So Ted, before we leave, since we don't really know much about you, I think you mentioned earlier that you've been on this planet for a while. Where are you from? And are you aligned with any of the planetary governments right now, or what is your purpose here?
I was on a free trader. I was having a great time. I was this close to being promoted, and a friend of mine caused a piloting accident, blamed it on me. It was disgusting. But I mean, there are some guys on the run and an unoccupied ship's boat. So that's what I've got for right now, but it's pretty beat up. It won't make it out of the atmosphere. So, yeah.
So
I'm looking for a way off the planet.
Understood. I just want to be sure I understand. So you may or may not have been responsible for a piloting error, and you're flying a stolen ship right now. Is that correct?
It's an appropriated ship, and I was a free trader for 12 years. 12 years. That there's no way I would ever make a piloting error like that, ever. I'm a professional.
You're my trusted diplomatic representative, but we don't need to grill this guy right now. He's piloting our ship.
Hey, I don't mind. You can ask me whatever questions you want.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
just before we give someone access to our vessel, I just want to make sure we know what we're dealing with. Any warrants for your arrest or trouble with other local governments or anything that we need to be concerned about?
No, not at all. You can look it up, but no.
That's good news. If anything has to do with anything, Adamus must know about it. He's basically our safety devotee. He needs to know.
Yes, that would be partner and co-owner of the Nebuchadnezzar. And yes, I do want to ask a few questions.
Don't worry, Adamus. I'm well aware of the part ownership. I
Trust.
see your name right on this.
Indeed, yes. So just want to make sure we know what we're dealing with. Okay, all right, Ted. Well, let's fly nice and careful like at first here and make sure we're comfortable with what's going on.
Yeah, don't make
Yeah.
me pilot it because I know we'll end up crashing somewhere.
No, it's okay. I got it. I've only had this ship for maybe a week, so you know, as much as I know, we're gonna do a good job here, get these guys to safety.
So you notice on your screen before you, Ted, you see that there are indicators showing different things flying around and such on your in your radar, technically your radar, I should say. You notice that there are various vehicles inbound as well as ones that are kind of hovering in kind of like the general vicinity of this area.
Okay. Can I see if they're friendly to the wounded I'm carrying here?
Yeah, you have
Like
no. Yeah,
transponders,
there's nothing in a transponder on a lot of these. You're getting pretty
Okay.
much no indicators except that they're blips right now in the sky.
I'm going to go ahead and
All right.
use
Well,
the sensor equipment that we brought with us and see if I can get a drive signature or a skin paint off the hull to see what the configuration of the vessels are and try to identify them.
Since you would have to get yourself kind of positioned onto the back end of the ship and have him point towards the area that you are trying to receive signals from. So you'd have to bring down the ramp and go ahead and give yourself if you're using the equipment that way. But you could either hardwire it in.
Well, we have a scout ship right here. I'm not going to leave the scout ship, so
Yeah.
I think we need to try to get it airborne as well, and it has sensor equipment built into it.
So you're going to use okay. So you're using the scout ship as the getting it airborne as well.
I'll go ahead and program it to fly up on remote and act as a drone, so we can use it for our sensors.
You get a call back. Hey, what's going on? You hear Cora. The ship's firing up.
Sorry, Cora. I'm going to give you some coordinates. Go ahead and fly to them. We need to use the onboard sensors to try to identify these targets that we have on our radar or later.
Roger that. And she follows your coordinates. And she's like, it looks like you have some vessels from Rome which are coming in. Looks like a larger transport kind of a thing. And she says it also looks to be like some sort of escort along with them as well.
I'm sorry, Cora. What was the point of origin?
Rome. They're bearing the insignias of the place that we've talked to the scientist.
Okay, Sergeant. Can you confirm that these are your friendlies that are inbound right now?
Roger that, he says.
All right, Cobb. I need a hardware check. You've been very quiet this entire trip. What's the status of our hardware?
I go on the hardware front. Just trying to wrap my head around everything that went on recently. Not every day you see a mountain fly off into space, so
Sure
to
enough.
speak.
It's
Whether or
amazing.
not
It's
everything's
like
running well.
miracles happening every day, says Sal.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right. Hardware is good. We're getting everything underway. Excellent. Good work, guys.
Okay, heading to which coordinates have you situated the vehicles to proceed towards?
Rye, why don't we go ahead and head back? I believe we have a Nebuchadnezzar at Valaris right now, undergoing repairs. Let's return and see if we're space worthy yet.
Yes, I am getting kind of homesick. Let's get back to our ship.
So you're fed a bunch of coordinates there, Ted, indicating towards the main city of the of Ruam, towards an airport. And
Sounds good.
eventually, as you're gliding along, you're noticing that there's a bit of activity, along the seafront. There seems to be a lot of ships in the area that are, and a lot of onlookers. You notice that there's some, kind of the ferry kind of boats and stuff, and people are watching as the ships and things are flying back and forth. A big flurry of activity around in the vicinity, like more than you would expect. And as you go over top of these cruise ships that are down below, there's people like waving and trying to catch your eye as you go by. And you make your way towards the I keep on wanting to say spaceport towards the airport.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check radio transmission, see if there's anything crazy going on.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of chatter. Some people are suspecting that there's another race on this planet that is protecting us or something like that. Some weird conspiracies and stuff. And you're getting a lot of, back and forth, commentators talking to each other. Then you get a little bit of, they talk about the what they've seen and everything. Of course, you do realize that none of these, since you've been around these people for a while, they don't have TVs or anything like that. It's a lot of oscilloscopes, but nothing to show, like a picture or anything like that. So a lot of this stuff is being described back and forth, and you're getting kind of a weird kind of vibe from the way they're describing stuff.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna radio ahead and just say, hey, just so you know, this is whatever my ship is called. I'm coming in with some wounded men here, and I mean no harm bringing in some wounded here.
Yep.
Please let me know where I can land.
As you are coming closer to the airport, you do notice that there is a couple of craft that pull up alongside. These are the biplane kind of vehicles with the jet propulsion. And they come aside and they radio in to you to follow them in. They'll take you in on course. And then slowly you are brought down to descend into the area pretty close to where you can see a large 200-ton far trader down below on the tarmac. And as you also notice another ship come in as well, and this is a scout ship. It looks totally beat up as well. Strange thing about this 200-ton starship that you see down below you is part of it's been rebuilt. You can tell that something kind of doesn't look the same on one side of the ship. You notice that part of the drive and part of the engine area has been rebuilt in a significantly different way as compared to the rest of the ship. You can tell it's been patched with a different technology of some form.
Okay.
But you come on in and you land down rather close to the 200-ton starship, and then alongside the 100-ton scout ship comes down as well. Everybody is back at the Nebuchadnezzar.
All right. So yeah, I go and look at the wounded here. Rye, have you been working on these guys?
Yeah, everybody's
I've
being
been the
patched.
entire trip. I think everyone's ready to leave this and head back into the Nebuchadnezzar. You as
All
well.
right. I would love to talk to you guys about that because I'm getting sick of this place, quite frankly. It's time for me to move on.
You can talk to me or Adamus, my diplomatic liaison. He would probably give you a better solid answer than I would. But as it stands right now, you're more than welcome to join.
Always looking for qualified crew. Do you mind if we do just a quick bioscan and check your DNA against our records, just to make sure that there's no mistakes?
That's fine by me. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll stick my arm out there if you need to take blood or whatever.
I'll ask our doc to go ahead and just double check a DNA signature, make sure there's no arrest warrants, and we've got a positive ID match.
Yeah, he's not a bio assassin if that's what you're worried about.
We have met a few too many of those.
She goes, he looks clean by the looks of it, and she introduces herself as Zal. You are David? I mean, no, Ted. Sorry.
Ted. Yeah, Ted Walker. Ted
Walker. She
nice
nods and
you,
and if you haven't seen, I guess I should bring up some pictures once again for everybody to reference. Here we go. We'll go ahead and bring up some pictures here. Once again, this one is Sal, the guy that was with the group in the inside the alien technology place. Do I have a picture of Sal? No, I don't want to share that record. Am I sharing this? Did I share a thing called NPC Nightcrawler?
Yeah.
Okay, ignore that.
Yeah, it's all in images, all of the characters as well.
In case you don't
With
have them
images
here.
on the side.
There we go.
Below camp if you're ever looking for something.
And there is Sal, the doctor. And, of course, you also meet Overton, who is working on the ship with Shar helping him out. The pilot of the other vessel comes in. And Ted, there's some sort of sudden shock of resemblance that you kind of think. You know this gal somehow, but you can't quite figure it out. And that would be Cora. And she looks at you and kind of, does a little bit of a eye squint to you, like she somehow, recognizes you. And then she kind of relaxes and goes off and starts talking with the rest of the crew.
Interesting.
Overton says,
All
"Well,
right.
I've tried to get things as fixed as we possibly can, but there's no possibility of getting anything better going on here unless we get some parts, and that's what I need, and I ain't got them. We need parts."
I have a ship full of parts, man. If there's anything you need here, take a look at this ship's boat here. There anything internal here that can help with that?
Overton looks
I
it
know
over.
they're two
He's
different
like,
classes of ships.
I mean, there's some things I can use or salvage out of here, but as far as I can tell, no. I need something from a bigger vessel. Definitely, we need maneuver drives out of something.
If you need
We
parts,
have a
there's a bunch floating around in space there.
there's a
Most
large
likely.
mountain that launched into space recently that is some kind of old technology we may be able to repurpose. Is the boat at least pressure tested and air and space worthy that we can get to orbit?
I have not been willing to test this in atmosphere. This is a pretty beat up ship.
I was
Like
asking
out of
about.
atmosphere, I mean.
I was asking Overton about Nebuchadnezzar if he's got the ship back in
He
space
says
worthy condition in orbit.
he says there's no way he's gonna be able to get this ship fast enough to break the orbit and get us out of here. It would maybe make it to the upper atmosphere, but that's about it.
What about that
Oh.
200-ton boat that's sitting next to us?
No, probably won't work, but we can always ask the Rome government if they have any space-worthy craft that we can use to salvage some parts with.
He's looking over the Overton's looking over the ship's boat. He goes, "Well, this should be able to make it, although I'm not sure, have you tested it under pressure?"
No. But you think it can do it?
Quite possibly. We can check her over, make sure. Probably our best bet.
I'd really appreciate that. I certainly don't want to take it up until somebody's had a chance to take a look at it.
He says, "Do you guys mind if I go ahead and start, checking things over on this instead of working on the Nebuchadnezzar there, Adamus?"
Check it over, yeah.
Seems like we're at an impasse with our ship, so if we can get to orbit with his and take some parts off the other vessel, then that's the way forward.
He starts looking it over and checking it out. Cora's gone to help him as well, including Shar, and they are all starting to check things over on the ship, going over diagnostic readings and such.
Now, if you guys excuse me, I'm going to head into the Nebuchadnezzar. I need to talk to the doctor.
Okay. You see Zal, she is, tending to a couple of other people that have, come on board. The couple of the soldiers there, they were just getting some extra wounds checked over, and she's got stuff there that can, like, instantly mend skin and stuff like that. So they're, like, mesmerized at how she can do this, and as you come walking in, they're like, "Oh, sorry, sir. We'll get off your ship."
Stay as long as you need to heal. I wanted to talk to Zal.
She Goes, what can I do you for?
I've been wondering for a while now, how's the condition of our captain?
She's uh, she's stable, if that. Not much I can tell unless we pull her out of cryo.
Do you think she'll ever come out of this coma?
She shrugs. I'm not going to give you any false hope, but if there's any chance of her getting out of her situation, we need to be heading to a high-tech planet.
Artemis, come in.
Go ahead.
Now, just off the top of your head, from where we are now, what's the closest high-tech planet? Like the highest rating?
It's probably be a jump back from our last system that had the spaceport.
Roger that. Thank you.
Just to give you a overview.
Well,
so just to give you a little bit of preamble from what the computer tells you, the highest technology would be found at Dooku, Lunar Mise, and Edom Lee. Fal is also another place where it designates a high technology signature.
and we're currently positioned
In the center, Kirudis.
here. This.
We don't want to go back to Dooku, so Lunar Mise or Fowler are going to be our best options.
Okay. Do we have any ships, or is there any pieces that we can get that would be able to give us that kind of jump? I guess we can go look for it out in space from the mountain and all the scattered pieces.
I think that's our best bet right now.
Yeah, I think we have to wait. We should wait for the people to finish their inspection, right?
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that woman with the platinum blonde hair? I feel like I recognize her.
Ooh, Cora?
Cora? Doesn't quite ring a bell. All right.
I saw the look she gave you. It's like you guys know each other.
Yeah. Does she have a sister? I don't know.
When
Looks
you bring
really familiar. Anyway.
bring that up, Ted, you suddenly realize her brother.
Oh my God. What the heck's that guy's name? She has a brother, right?
And your first little episodic issue that you had on your character sheet. Her brother.
Oh. I see. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow. That's cool. Yeah, I thought I recognized her. Must be a mistake. Yeah, how long do you think this is going to be for this ship to get that inspection finished?
I have a great crew to work with, a great mechanic. Just give them a bit of time and we'll get it figured out.
Overton comes over the comm. He says, well, this ship checks out. Looks like we could make it into space, but I wouldn't trust it on any kind of long-term expeditions.
This is Rye. I don't think we're doing any long-term. I think we're just looking for scattered pieces to fix up the Nebuchadnezzar.
We'll just have to go ahead and transfer some of the hydrogen from the scout ship over to this ship's boat, and we should be fine.
Sounds good. Rye out.
Soon
Ted, do
enough.
you still know how to pilot this?
Yeah, with a little extra hydrogen, this should be give it a nice kick.
Good.
We'll be all right.
And Adamus, with your engineering skills, you'd be able to pick out the parts that we need?
Yeah, all we can do is take a look. I'm gonna grab my vac suit just in case here for need to go for a little spacewalk.
Who's
Sounds good.
going? Who is being? Who's going up with the ship's boat?
I'm gonna go up with it as well. I'm grabbing my spacesuit and walking out, get into the ship here right away.
I'll go with them and provide some.
Yeah, Adamus is gonna go since he's gonna be trying to scavenge parts.
And I'll see if we can get a list from Overton to get see what parts in particular he's looking for.
Okay.
That'll help us.
Good idea.
And we want Cal or Shai to go with us as extra manpower. Or do you think we will be?
I think we'll be okay. Sergeant, are you coming with us?
Nope. He's got other things to do. He's still working here. He's on assignment, so he's gonna stay at the airport for a bit and wait for his pickup.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's just us and Ted.
Yeah. He says, thank you, men, for assisting us on that imperialist journey. I will put a good word forth on what happened, and unfortunate our scientist did not make it through that whole endeavor, and unfortunately a couple of our men had their lives taken too, but we'll I'll make sure I fill out the reports, and you'll be okay.
I think there's some extra men on my ship receiving medical attention. Make sure you don't forget those guys as well.
Yeah, they're accounted for. Thanks.
Roger.
Okay, Overton says, yeah, this thing's ready to roll if you want it.
You guys
All
ready?
right, everyone strap in.
Yes, we will ever be.
All right, Ted is at the controls of the ship's boat.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it off nice and slow at first, and then we're like 1,000 feet off the ground. I'll give it hell.
All right, and the ship ascends up into orbit. Soon enough, you feel the release of gravity, and the gravity converters kick in and start to settle you back down once again. As you're heading into what seems to be the darker side of the planet as you're going up, you notice that there is much there's occasional blip on the radar of some form of large objects in the vicinity. Not some of them are barely giving a signal of some sort of energy source. Others are completely dead. Off in the distance, you can see on the horizon, you can see something that looks massively mountainous, kind of on the cusp of the planet as it glares, as the light flares towards you, and you see the ominous shape of some sort of large, weird, misshapen sort of sentinel looming above the planet.
As we fly through the debris cloud, I'll be scanning each item to see if I can locate any of the particular parts that we need.
You come upon a couple of areas where there's some. You notice some debris. It looks like destroyed ships. Obviously, some of these are well, actually, all of these are the Borga ships that were in orbit here. And you see a couple of them kind of floating kind of aimlessly around, kind of in a slow turn. And you do notice some engine, parts, spewing out from this one, debris field. Something that looks sort of suitable, could work.
Hey, Ted, you see that pile of debris over there? We may have something useful in there if you can get close to it. I'll go down to the airlock, get the vac suit, be ready to step out once we get close.
Yeah, I can do that.
You maneuver the ship over closer and closer to, and then you start getting closer. And of course, as soon as you start getting up closer, you're seeing things become a lot larger as you approach. And you notice this ship.
I say, like, wow, this is the first time I've seen this kind of destruction.
And you see a couple of bodies floating around too. They're kind of like almost like a lizard kind of humanoid, and you see a couple of them kind of floating aimlessly within the drifting remains. But you spot a couple of items that might work. Adamus.
I look to see if the this pirate vessel has any kind of a remote arm or anything I can use to try to grab the parts without having to climb outside.
You, the ship's boat does not have any form of, periscopic kind of actuators or anything that will help you in any way. But with the back open, you can possibly kind of maneuver with your vac suit and be able to guide stuff into the hull of the ship's boat if you wanted to.
Gents, we're going to do this.
Back suit along with you. Right here, I'll help you pull things in if we need to.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're going old school with this one. Keep things. Don't make any big movements here. I'm going to try to step out and grab some of this stuff.
Alrighty. I would
Steady
like
as she
you
goes.
and for you and Spencer to give me a roll on your vac suit, please.
Is that a separate skill?
It should be a vac suit skill, yes.
Yeah, I don't have that. Okay, unskilled.
Unskilled.
Yeah, I don't have back suit either.
Oh no.
And there's mine.
Does anybody here know how to pilot?
With this group?
Not really. We didn't really bring anyone who's an actual pilot along with us other than Ted.
All right.
Is there an
We'll go
autopilot
with,
on this ship?
with them as well.
I see these guys just bumbling around. Hey,
suddenly,
hey, wait a minute. Don't go out there like that. Jesus, get over here. Like, grab Adamus and, like, are you serious, man? Okay, listen. Turn around. This isn't right.
Just as he's turning around, he rips his vacuum suit open, and suddenly you get this rush of weird air coming through, and then suddenly there's like no air, and quickly the rest of your companions go ahead and grab you and huddle you into the back into safety as one of the airlocks closes behind you, and you suddenly get back some air back into your suit.
Oh, wow, what a rush.
You
Cobb
wanna
is going out, but he seems to be pretty proficient in what he's doing. As you see him kind of zipping around with his vacuum suit quite
Adamus,
effortlessly.
can you guide him on how to, grab this stuff and pull it in? If there's like some sort of tow line that comes out of the ship, we can probably just tow it in.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys can kind of hold the ship steady, Ted and I can go out and spacewalk and see what we can do.
Okay.
It seems like you're the best one out of us all so far.
You can
Yeah,
hold
I
the
can help with
you can hold the ship's boat in position. That's no problem. So as
Yeah,
long as
there's like
nobody
a-
touches the controls, you think everything should be okay.
Yeah. I'm not great with mechanics or anything like that, but I'd be happy to go out and see if I can bring some of the.
Well, Adamus knows the equipment that we need from
As
the list
long as,
that
yeah,
Overton
Adamus-
gave him. And
So if
Cobb
guide
is out
us.
there grabbing what he was told to grab. So if you want to help Cobb out and try and tow this stuff in,
I'll try to
it'll probably work better.
position myself by a viewport or a sensor display or something, and watch what they're doing and try to talk them into where they need to go to get the right pieces.
You're getting some visual feedback from their vacuum suits, and you're seeing what they're looking at and everything. You're able to guide them fairly effortlessly to grab what they can. There is a large piece of machinery that looks like it could be detached off of one of the debris that you see out here that you could definitely use out of what you see. You'd probably have to disassemble it inside the ship's boat and take what you can from there.
How much can the ship carry? That's the question.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah. Oh,
You can always come back. Unless somebody else grabs it first.
yeah. Oh, no one's really going to, luckily. But Adamus, yeah, if you can take it apart best you can while we bring it in. So that we can get as much in here as possible.
Yeah, Cobb, you end up guiding in the large piece of debris in towards the back area where the lift opens on the back of the ship, and maneuver that in, and of course the ship end closes, and you have what you need possibly for fixing the ship down on the surface.
Okay, I'll strip off the best parts off of it, and any of the debris we can jettison back out, so we're not carrying extra weight.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's take
Okay.
a closer look at the behemoth before we return to the surface. Just see what we're dealing with.
And
And move the ship carefully around.
you start heading towards the large sentinel off in space, and you maneuver around. It kind of looks like, when you look underneath the one side of it appears to be like mountain. However, a lot of it's been shaken off, and it appears to be still, like, the trees and everything have been totally destroyed off of the surface. But underneath, you do notice that there's kind of a weird, kind of a honeycomb kind of shape that you see beneath it. And it's got some sort of weird patterns and such, but it's massive. This thing is just huge. You kind of guess it would probably be about 5 kilometers at least across. Roughly.
As we fly by, I'm going to scan it, see if I can pick up any energy sources if it's currently powered.
Oh, it's definitely powered. And you do notice that there is, on the bottom side, there appears to be some larger kind of round instruments on them, possibly weapon barbettes of some form.
Let me take a closer look at this and see if I can make heads or tails of this.
You start getting
I'm getting ready to bolt if I need to.
you
Just
start
make sure the ship's ready to go when we need it to go.
you start getting closer, but and then suddenly you notice that you're not getting closer. You just seem to be burning fuel. However, you're not getting any closer. It's kind of like you're hitting some sort of a field.
This is interesting. Anybody heard of something like this before?
I think it's some sort of force field that's surrounding the ship. Those round things are probably what's powering the force field. If there's a way we can get on that ship to shut it down, we could probably take the parts for our own.
I scanned to see if there's a what looks to be an airlock, a hangar, some sort of access point on the vessel.
You do a scan and you're getting somewhat of a weird kind of reading from it. You're getting like you're seeing that there is the large object as far as your scan is concerned. However, there is something being emitted from it. Appears to be some sort of a very powerful repulsor, which is stopping you from getting any closer.
Is there a way we can get closer to that unit?
I wonder if this is just going to stop something that's like massive, like a ship. If an individual in a vac suit can actually approach.
I'll do it.
Try
What do you
approaching
think?
it slower first, see if that works. It could be based on the kinetic speed as well. Try that, and then if not, we
Ted, would you mind seeing
and see
if we can test that theory?
Do you have
yeah, see if we can.
Adamus, I need you here with me, man. Last time we tried to do a spacewalk, we just sort of landed on our heads.
If
No,
not, I'll go out.
Second time's the charm. I'm sure I can figure it out this time.
If you want to try for
I'll
it,
guide
go.
them through putting the vac suit on if need be.
I try to get dressed. I put the vac suit on backwards.
Do you need operating instructions on how to put it on frontwards?
I think you should just stay.
Well, maybe you guys are right. Maybe I shouldn't be the one to do the spacewalk.
All right. Well,
yeah, see if the ship will drift closer, and if not, then yeah, I'll go out and see what we can find out.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try just going slower.
Okay, you're testing it out, and with your engineer, with let's see, with Adamus, your electronics, you in your engineering, you're kind of guessing that this repulsor is it seems to be situated on just one part of this entire structure, and you realize that there may be a blind spot on it on the upper area, which is the side which has all the mountainous debris on it.
Okay, maybe try a different approach. Ted may be able to evade the repulsor if we come at it from a different angle.
All right. Any suggestions here? Like I'll bring it around. We're coming in from the top.
Yeah, bring it around 180 degrees out and see if we can get any closer that way.
All right.
Eventually, you come around and you end up getting closer and closer to the mountainous section, the upper, I guess you would call it the top section of the structure. covered with soil, debris, dead trees, that sort of thing. A lot of it kind of like floating kind of in general vicinity of the bulk of the structure itself. And you end up actually getting very close. It's probably the most closest you've come to the structure at present. You look like
So we're not able.
you could possibly land on this side.
I think we can get down there. What do you think?
Well, if you think we can, I have trust in you, Ted.
Well, I mean, I feel like I've known you guys forever. Yeah, let's give this a shot, I guess.
All the things of what you say has come true. You know, the things that you say you're going to do, you do. So if you think you can land this thing,
I'll give it a try, anyways.
As we're coming in, I'm going to try it again. Sense if there is a airlock or an access point that we can land close to and try to help him guide him to the right spot.
Okay. And you're kind of getting some sort of, you're doing readings and such. At this time, you're hitting a couple of spots that are on the basically on the upper part of the mountainous area that have been kind of cleared off from obviously from it going into the atmosphere and blowing off a lot of the mountainous debris off of it. But you do notice an opening area where there is a possible, looks like almost like a gash in the side of this kind of semi-weird metallic-y stone structure that is kind of the skeletal component of this entire mountain.
Hey Ted, the hull has been compromised. If you see it up there, that may be a good place to try to land.
Yeah, I mean, it's narrow. I'll give it a shot, though. I think we can do it. There seems to be enough room.
Roll a piloting check, please.
that's my fingers.
Okay.
The
so yeah, there's a
ship's boat comes in fairly clean. You do notice that there's a lot of like chunk. It's almost like, you know, a floating kind of like debris that you would see in an asteroid field almost as you're coming in. You notice that a lot of this mountainous section is kind of just floating in kind of tandem with the larger bulk of this huge, massive mountainous structure. But you manage to go ahead and find yourself a clean, flat spot. And up ahead, you can see where that shearing had occurred and where it has kind of dislocated some of the sheeting off of the inner skeletal structure of this massive sentinel mountain conglomeration.
This is gonna be hell to get out of here. I don't like it, man. We might have to wait a long time to get another clear shot out from all this debris, but we can check it out anyway now that we're here.
So you've landed her basically as close as you can into where you're at, you know, where you got a good approach. And the ship comes to a halt. You all look at each other.
Well, we're alive, boys. That's a good sign.
Yeah, now that we're close, scanning for anything else that any life signs, any nearby energy sources, any strange technology readings.
You're getting you're getting nothing as far as a life signs, but you do have some sort of a weird energy reading that kind of is very similar to what you had on the surface of the planet when you were doing your first initial trying to locate this entire structure on the planet. And yeah, it's a very low frequency, but it is there. It is alive somewhat.
Try to see if it's actually a communication signal of some kind. Can I decrypt it?
Do you have... give me an unskilled. You're kind of figuring out, yeah, it's some sort of a warning that it's emitting out that you can see.
Ted, why'd you land us on this thing? There's a warning.
Hey man, I was concentrating on not running into stuff, okay?
I'm gonna see what kind of a warning it is.
From your interpretation of the language, it is giving off a signal saying, basically, enemy stay away is what it is. Basically, roughly translated into.
I don't think it's necessarily a warning for us. Well,
Let's hope
maybe it
not.
could be. We're on the ship.
You guys think this is a very old spaceship?
It's not old.
Oh, it's ancient.
It's
But that's all
ancient.
we know.
Maybe
Well,
maybe some
shall we go
ancient
exploring?
ancient planetary defense system of some kind. Well, we're here.
I'm happy to check it out if you guys are. This would be pretty special.
Well, we need
Why
that
not?
piece, so let's see if we can grab it.
All right. I'm gonna suit up this time.
Okay.
Cobb, are you able to back him up as well?
Yep.
Everybody suits up.
Anybody else coming, or
You guys want to try? We'll guide you through and help you. Hold your hand.
that's,
I think I'm
that's just fine.
more useful here.
All right.
Rye, you know that if they don't come back, you and I aren't getting off this rock, though, right?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I will go with
Well,
them.
All right.
All right.
So yeah, got our suit on. Cobb, go ahead, man. I'll follow
and
you.
we'll help Rye get into his suit if he's going with us.
So it is Rye. Correct? Rye
I
is
feel
going?
like it's just the two of
Yeah,
us.
I'm going.
You're going?
Okay.
Yeah.
Leaving Adamus behind?
Well, you said he's better there.
Okay.
All on his own.
I'm gonna try to monitor and provide assistance from the remote location and keep an eye for any obvious threats if this thing starts to power up or we have some other problem.
You'll supply the screaming support in the background. Alrighty. So the three.
I'm gonna patch my camera through to Adamus if possible.
No problem. You can do so. You all have cameras on your vacuum suits, and the three make their way out through the airlock and start making their way towards the gash, which is up front on the surface of this massive construct. You're making your way kind of as you're moving along, you're noticing that there is some debris that you kind of just push away as you're kind of floating through. and getting it, kind of swimming through it pretty much. And there is a lot of it, but you start to make yourself into the clear area where there is the shear that has come off from the structure. And as you move along in, we see the credits roll for tonight's episode. We will continue for next week. So we'll make this one a little bit short for tonight and have everything set up for your travels within the depths of whatever this thing is. All right, guys. That was a little bit of a short one, but to get everybody kind of introduced and have ourselves set up to where you want to go for this next episode. Awesome.
Great. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Thanks very much, Rick. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Everybody's set for next week? Able to show up?
I'm set for next week.
I'll be there.
Okay. Alrighty. And don't forget, tomorrow we're all good for Godforsaken?
Yep.
All good?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep.
I got an adventure planned for that one too, so it's gonna be good. Alrighty,
Nowhere else
guys.
to go and nothing else to do.
Yeah. All right. Apologies once again for everybody having that little bit of an intermission. Of course, that was I didn't know what the heck happened there, but I did lose power at the house, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. But for anybody that feels like it, hey, if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button, and you'll be subscribed to learn things as I learn it, and yeah, just do it. Just do it, guys. Just hit that button. Hit it. Hit it.
Why don't you change your channel?
Take care.